Good afternoon, students. Today in the unit 4, we are going to discuss the next topic in work, energy, and power. So, the next topic we are going to discuss is relation between the momentum and kinetic energy. You know what is a momentum? That is a mass into velocity, and that and kinetic energy is how related. That is, we are going to see here. For that, we are considering an object of the mass m moving with the velocity of v, then its linear momentum is p is equal to mv, and the kinetic energy is ke is equal to of mv square. So ke is equal to of mv square. That's we are taking that v square as v dot v square as v dot v. So we are able to write that v dot v is nothing but v square. And after taking this on the equation, we are going to do the another thing, that is multiplying both the numerator and the denominator of the equation by the mass. That means of m into v dot b is here, no? So that m is multiplied by with the another m and divided by the m. So if m is multiplied by the m, we will get m square, and what about the denominator? It is m. That is this equation we will get. K is equal to of m square v into v by m. So this of into m, we are getting that m square by m v into v. So we are taking that m square in m square as m into m. So m into m, v into v. So we are able to write this equation, that is half into mv into mv by m. So we know that what is mv? That is the momentum. P is equal to mv. So instead of writing mv, we are going to write that as p. So of p vector dot p vector by m, that is nothing but p square by 2m. So ke is nothing but p square by 2m. So this modulo of p vector is a magnitude of the momentum. Magnitude, you know that what is, that is how much distance is covered. So this is the momentum's magnitude. The magnitude of the linear momentum can be obtained by, so we are taking this p square by 2m. So we are getting p square by 2m ke. So what is p square? Ke into 2m. So p, we are taking p, that means it will take as a square root. So p is equal to 2m ke p. Root of, that is p is equal to root of 2m ke. That is the final equation we are getting. That is, if kinetic energy and the mass are given, only the magnitude of the momentum can be calculated, but not the direction of the momentum. This is because the kinetic energy is what? It's a scalar quantity. So if it is a scalar quantity, we are able to finding only the magnitude, not the direction. So this is the relation of the magnitude, the momentum, that is the momentum and the kinetic energy. So related with this, we are going to see the next problem, that is the example problem of 4.7. When taking of a two object of the masses 2 kg and 4 kg are moving with the same momentum, that is 20 kg meter per second, what we have to calculate means, will they have the same kinetic energy or will they have same speed? That we are going to calculate. So what is the solution of this equation? The kinetic energy of the mass is given as ke is equal to p square by 2m. The object of mass is given as 2 kg and kinetic energy is given as 20. So the p square is given as 20, and what is first ke1? That is, for two masses are given. So first we are going to calculate for the first mass. So we are taking that as 2 kg. So ke1 is nothing but for the first mass, equal to 20 square by 2 into 2. That is the 2m. 2 into m is 2. That is 2. And 20 is nothing but our p value. So 20 square, you know that 400, and 2 into 2 is 4. That is, we are getting as 100 joule for the first mass. And then we are going to calculate the second mass. Then the second mass for the object of the mass 4 kg, kinetic energy we are taking that as ke2, because for the second mass, so 20 square is same p value, and 2 into M value is 4 and we are getting that as 400 by 8, that is 50 joule. So note that KE1 is not equal to KE2. Even though both are having the same momentum, then the kinetic energy of both masses is not the same. The kinetic energy of the heavier object has less kinetic energy than the smaller mass. So it is because the kinetic energy is inversely proportional to what? The mass. So that the kinetic energy is differing for the different masses even though it gets the same momentum. Understood? So next we are going to see the topic as a potential energy, and I already said you potential energy is mainly due to virtue of its position or its configuration. The energy accessed, that is energy possessed, that is a potential energy. Here the definition is given for the potential energy. Potential energy of an object at a point P is defined as amount of work done by an external force in moving the object at constant velocity from the point O to the point P. At the initial point O, the potential energy taken as 0. This can be given with the two different points, how the work has to be done from one position to the another position, that is given in this definition. The next topic we are going to discuss is for power. You know how the what is and power. That means if you are giving your work, if you are having more power, you will do that faster. If you are having the less power, you will do it very slower. So it just depends on the power. Power is a measure of how fast or slow the work is done. So power is defined as the rate of work done or the energy delivered. So how much energy has to be delivered, that is depends on the power. So that is defined here. Power is equal to work done by time taken. That is P is equal to W by T. How much work has to be done in the particular timing. And then average power is there. Average power is nothing but the ratio of total work done to the total time taken, that is the average power. And PAWAV, that is average power. PAV is equal to total work done by total time taken. Next we are going to see the instantaneous power. You know that what is instantaneous, that is at an instant of time how much power is delivered. The instantaneous power is defined as the power delivered at an instant. That means the time interval approaches as 0. So P instant is equal to dW by dt. This is the instantaneous power. And next we pass on to the unit of power. Power is a scalar quantity. Its dimension is ml square T minus 3. So SI unit of power is watt. So it's named after the inventor of the steam engine, James Watt. That's why the power unit is watt. So 1 watt is defined as the power when 1 joule of work has to be done in 1 second, because P is equal to W by T. So 1 work done has to be taken out in 1 second. That is 1 joule of work done has to be done in 1 second. That is 1 watt of power. So the higher units are kilowatts, megawatts and also gigawatts. For motors, engines and some automobiles, and volt unit of power is commercially is used in which is called as an horsepower, that is HP. We have the conversion for the horsepower into the watt, which is 1 horsepower is equal to 746 watt. That should be equal to horsepower. All the electrical goods come with a defined power rating in watt printed on them. 100 watt bulb consumes 100 joule of electrical energy in 1 second. The energy measured in terms of P, that is the power in watt, and time in time in seconds, that should be written as 1 joule is equal to 1 watt. Yes is nothing but the seconds. When electrical appliances are put in use for long hours, they consume a large amount of power. That's measuring the electrical energy in a small unit, watt. Seconds
seconds leads to the handling the large numerical values. So hence electrical energy is measured in the unit called kilowatt hour. So for the small appliances only or the small things we are able to measure the power in terms of watt. If it is the high consuming energy or powers means we are not able to continue with that. So for that purpose we are using the unit of kilowatt hour. That means 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 1 kWh is equal to 1 into, oh, you know what is a kilo, that is 10 to the power of 3 watt. So that is 1 into 10 to the power of 3 watt, and then into, you know, you are having the timing also. So that is 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. So for 1 kilowatt you are substituting that as 10 to the power of 3 watt, and 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. 1 electrical unit is equal to 3600 into 10 to the power of 3 WS. So 1 electrical unit we are taking that in terms of 10 to the power. So 3600 is taken as 3.6 into 10 power 3, and that 10 power 3, that this 10 power 3 will be combined together and it makes us 10 power 6. So 1 electrical unit is equal to 3.6 into 10 to the power of 6 joule. 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 3.6 into 10 to the power of 6 joules. So this is a constant value for all the 1 kilowatt. Wherever if you are getting in the problems, and in that you have to substitute this 1 kilowatt hour value as 3.6 into 10 to the power of 6 joules. So electrical bills are generated in units of electrical kilowatt hour for electrical energy consumption. 1 unit electrical energy is 1 kilowatt hour. Kilowatt hour is a unit of energy, not for the power. Related with this, one problem is given. Calculate the energy consumed in electrical units when a 75 watt fan is used for 8 hours daily for 1 month. That means 1 month means 30 days. So we have to find the energy consumed. So power is given as 75 watt. Time of usage is T is equal to 8 hours. That means in 30 days, so we have to multiply that with 30, that we will get 240 hours. Then electrical energy consumed is a product of power and time of usage. So electrical energy is equal to power into time of usage, that is P into T. You know what is P value, 75 watt, and T value is 240 hour. So that's equal to 18,000 watt hour. That means we are taking that as kilowatt hour, 18 kilowatt hour. We know that one electrical unit is equal to 1 kilowatt hour. So 18 kilowatt hour is nothing but 18 unit. Okay, so that much of electrical energy that is consumed on there.